There's a lot of actors who can seamlessly fill any number of roles by bringing a multitude of characters to life. Other performers, though, are so good at portraying one specific kind of character that they pretty much play that same role in everything that they're in. Today, TheBinger is going to go through the 25 actors most known for playing the same role every single time they're in a show or movie. Number 1. Seth Rogen. In real life, Seth Rogen is a pretty cool stoner who's a genius when it comes to creating socially considerate comedies. As an actor, he plays it pretty close to home and almost always plays a stoner who acts as a means to explore larger issues. This is especially true for films that Rogen wrote himself. In 2007 Superbad, Rogen is a stoner cop who helps McLovin reach the social status that always eluded him. In 2016 Sausage Party, he plays a hot dog who gets high and ends up questioning religion in his Puritan society. In 2008's Pineapple Express, he plays a stoner and he gets, well, stoned, and ends up fighting the mob while exploring his various relationships. Number 2. Keira Knightley. Keira Knightley is a terrific actress who usually ends up in similar roles, or at least generally stars in similar movies. Although she's perhaps best known for her role as Elizabeth Swann in the Pirates of the Caribbean franchise, she also stars in an incredible number of period dramas. She plays Elizabeth Bennet in 2005's Pride and Prejudice and played Joan Clark in 2014's The Imitation Game. She also starred in Atonement, The Duchess, A Dangerous Method, Anna Karenina, and the film Colette. So basically, if you're watching a movie set in the past featuring a British woman, there's a 50-50 chance that Keira Knightley is in it. Number 3. Michael Cera. Hey casting directors, do you need someone to play an awkward teenager or young adult? Don't worry, Michael Cera has you covered. The actor is famous for portraying awkward youths in comedic stories or ones centered on growing up. His affinity for this role first came about in the Arrested Development television show, where he played the emotionally insecure George Michael Bluth. His roles in the films Superbad, Juno, and Youth in Revolt would further cement him into this kind of character. Then his portrayal of the titular Scott Pilgrim in Scott Pilgrim vs. the World would forever make Cera the poster boy for characters who don't have their emotions or lives together. Number 4. Zooey Deschanel. Zooey Deschanel is really good at playing characters who use deadpan humor and are larger than life. This is why she's most known for playing characters who are quirky or fit the manic pixie dream girl descriptor. Her most notable roles are also clearly geared towards her talents. She played more or less the same character in 2003's Elf, 2006's Failure to Launch, 2008's Yes Man, and 2009's 500 Days of Summer. Her portrayal as Jess Day in the sitcom New Girl also ties into her always playing more eccentric characters. Even if Deschanel has stepped away from acting for the moment, once she returns, it's a pretty safe bet what kind of character she's going to be playing. Number 5. Adam Sandler. Adam Sandler always plays a man-child. Now sure, the immaturity of his various characters comes out in different ways, but his characters always struggle with embracing some part of adulthood. This is apparent even in some of the earliest movies in his career, like 1995's Billy Madison, 96's Happy Gilmore, 1998's The Wedding Singer, and 2002's Mr. Deeds. Even as he grew older, his characters would still have this immaturity, but through the lens of fatherhood. This is seen in 2006's Click, 2010's Grown Ups, and 2012's Hotel Transylvania. While the quality of Sandler flicks has declined quite a bit in recent years, the characters he plays in them are more or less the same. Number 6. Ken Jeong. Ken Jeong is known for two things: his former career as a physician before getting into acting, and his many over-the-top performances. While Jeong started his performing career by filling in a number of smaller roles and doing some stand-up, his big breaks would come in 2009. This is the year where he would begin performing his most well-known roles of Senor Ben Chang in the show Community and Leslie Chow in the Hangover film series. While Jeong would go on to fill a number of roles following his breakout performances, he'd almost always play exaggerated characters from then on. It looks like Jeong's over-the-top performances are likely to continue too. He's already locked in to voice Dynamite in the 2020 animated film Scoob. Number 7. Katherine Heigl. Katherine Heigl is another performer who is defined by her habit of playing similar roles. Heigl nearly always plays a more high-strung woman who's more successful in her professional life than her romantic one. As you'd expect, this type of character mostly appears in various romantic comedies that Heigl stars in. Heigl's character type first appeared in the 2007 film Knocked Up, where she and Seth Rogen work through an unexpected pregnancy from a hookup. She further embodies this character in later movies like 27 Dresses, The Ugly Truth, Killers, and Life as We Know It. Although Heigl doesn't have any upcoming film projects at the moment, future rom-coms would do well to add Heigl to their cast. Number 8. Morgan Freeman. Seasoned actor Morgan Freeman is today best known for acting as the voice of introspection and reason in his film roles. Although the performer has a huge catalog of performances, this becomes his go-to role after his portrayal of Red in 1994's The Shawshank Redemption. Since then, Freeman has reinforced this connection to this kind of character with a number of performances. This includes playing God in the Bruce and Evan Almighty films, Lucius Fox in the Christopher Nolan Batman trilogy, and Carter Chambers in The Bucket List. His performances are so iconic that they inspired an incredible amount of parody. Morgan Freeman and his voice are permanently linked to characters with a deep understanding of spiritual knowledge and the human condition. Number 9. Drew Barrymore. Drew Barrymore rose to fame as an incredibly successful child actor and a part of the Barrymore family of actors. Unfortunately, her rise to fame would be marred by drug and alcohol abuse, which Barrymore chronicled in her first autobiography. Today, she is perhaps most recognized for her playing opposite Adam Sandler in several romantic comedies. Barrymore played the leading lady in 1998's The Wedding Singer, 2004's 50 First Dates, and 2014's Blended. While Barrymore may be most remembered for these performances, it seems like she's going to be branching out into other roles soon. She was the executive producer for the 2019 Charlie's Angels film and will star in the upcoming comedy movie The Stand-In. Number 10. Jennifer Aniston. Jennifer Aniston is one of the most recognizable actresses working today. Her performance as Rachel Green in the sitcom Friends made the performer a household name and Aniston a respected performer. However, it also tied Aniston to the role of a helpless romantic in her later performances. Aniston basically plays a slightly modified version of Rachel Green in most of her film and television roles. This includes 1996's She's the One, 2004's Along Came Polly, 2006's The Breakup, and 2009's He's Just Not That Into You. Although Aniston has broken away from this character in her more recent work, such as in 2019's Murder Mystery, only time will tell how far she strays from her classic character type. Number 11. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson first got his start in show business through professional wrestling. Since then, he's become one of the biggest names in Hollywood and one of the hardest working actors in the industry. However, it's undeniable that he kind of always plays the same person. The Rock's roles nearly always consist of him playing an impossibly strong, humorous, and practically unbeatable badass. And that makes sense, because Johnson is all of those things in real life. His ongoing role of Luke Hobbs in the Fast and Furious franchise more or less locks him into this kind of character. Of course, his voicing Maui in the Moana animated film and portrayal of the Scorpion King in various films only further establishes him as a character actor. Number 12. Bruce Willis. Bruce Willis has been playing grizzled, aged action heroes for about 30 years now. Ever since his iconic performance as John McClane in 1988's Die Hard, Willis has almost always played classic action heroes. This is apparent in his performance in 1994's Pulp Fiction, 1998's Armageddon, and 2000's Unbreakable. Even when he's in a different genre of movie, he still plays a rough-around-the-edges tough guy. This is most clearly on display in 1997's The Fifth Element, and in his role of Captain Duffy Sharp in 2012's Moonrise Kingdom. Rather than try to break away from this character type, Willis seems to be embracing it. He even voiced a fictional and exaggerated version of himself in the second Lego movie. Number 13. Brad Pitt. Can you think of a single movie where Brad Pitt is not the man? No matter what film he's in and what role he plays, Brad Pitt's characters are always cool, tough, and effortlessly charismatic. Even if Pitt is an extremely accomplished actor with an array of films under his belt, he always seems to gravitate to these kinds of roles. Even though he was the villain, these character traits are on full display when Pitt played Tyler Durden in 1999's Fight Club. He'd also embodied this kind of character in 2001's Ocean's 11 and again as Achilles in 2004's Troy. Pitt once again played to his affinity for this kind of role in 2019's Once Upon a Time in Hollywood with his portrayal of Cliff Booth. Number 14. Samuel L. Jackson. Samuel L. Jackson has an extremely diverse collection of films under his belt. However, he's best known for portraying exaggerated characters with a penchant for cursing and having a physical prowess to back up their threats. Of course, he also tends to play characters with extremely quotable lines. The movies where Jackson embodies this kind of character include Pulp Fiction, the Star Wars prequels, The Incredibles, and of course, Snakes on a Plane. Jackson is also known for portraying the biggest badass in the Marvel Comics universe, Nick Fury. And he plays several out-there characters in other Tarantino movies. Basically, if Samuel L. Jackson is in a movie, then he's going to play a larger-than-life badass in said movie. Number 15. Vin Diesel. Vin Diesel is another actor who is most known for his action movie chops and playing a specific kind of character within the genre. Specifically, Diesel excels at playing stoic tough guys who are a bit morally ambiguous, but arguably justified in their actions. If that sounds like a very specific character, that's because Diesel is best known for some very specific roles. Diesel is associated with this particular character type largely because of his ongoing portrayal of Dominic Toretto in the Fast and Furious franchise. This, combined with his portrayal of Xander Cage in the Triple X films and Riddick in the Chronicles of Riddick, forever tie Diesel to this kind of role. Number 16. Danny Trejo. Danny Trejo is perhaps best known for taking on roles that require him to be a villain or an anti-hero. These characters tend to be almost cartoonishly evil or over the top, which contrasts heavily with his real-world reputation of being a real pleasant and kind individual. In fact, in August of 2019, Trejo literally saved an infant from an overturned car, making his iconic villain roles feel all that more ironic. Trejo played Razor Charlie in the From Dusk Till Dawn franchise, the supporting villain Johnny 23 in 1997's Con Air, and El Jefe in 2002's Triple X. Of course, Trejo is also widely known for playing the titular anti-hero Machete in the Machete series of movies. Number 17. Zach Galifianakis. Comedian and actor Zach Galifianakis is widely known for playing eccentric characters in movies and in deceptively grounded short-form content, such as the Funny or Die web series Between Two Ferns with Zach Galifianakis. Galifianakis has transformed his passion for elevated and outrageous comedy into a respectable acting career since then. The comedian is perhaps best known for his portrayal of Alan Garner in the Hangover series of movies. Of course, he also starred in 2010's Dinner for Schmucks and voiced the Joker in 2017's Lego Batman movie. Thanks to his ongoing TV series Baskets and the upcoming Between Two Ferns movie, it's clear that Galifianakis will forever be associated with zany and bumbling characters. Number 18. Jason Statham. Does a movie need an English badass to do a bunch of ridiculous stunts and look super cool while doing them? Well then, look no further than Mr. Jason Statham, everyone. The action movie actor is known far and wide for engaging in over-the-top antics in a number of movies. This plays in well with the real-life passion for mixed martial arts, diving, and soccer. Statham rose to fame for his portrayal of Frank Martin in the Transporter trilogy of films. He'd keep his status as an English action movie star going with appearances in films like The Italian Job and the Expendables franchise. Of course, he's perhaps most well-known today for playing the character Deckard Shaw in the Fast and Furious franchise. Number 19. Sean Bean. You know how there's an ongoing joke that if Sean Bean is in a movie, his character's gonna pass away? Well, that's because there's a lot of movies where Sean Bean's character bites it. Even if the seasoned actor can play various types of roles very well, he's doomed to meet the same fate no matter what he stars in. Bean played the villain Alec Trevelyan in the GoldenEye film, and that character passed away. Bean played Boromir in the Lord of the Rings franchise and passed away there. And of course, Bean played Ned Stark in the first series of Game of Thrones before the character lost his head. Number 20. Jesse Eisenberg. When Jesse Eisenberg isn't writing and producing plays, he plays a very specific kind of character in films. Eisenberg almost always plays an eccentric character that ranges somewhere between adorable and maniacal. Eisenberg first became known for this kind of role in the 2009 film Zombieland, where he played Columbus. Of course, his award-winning portrayal of Mark Zuckerberg in the Social Network drama would forever link him to this kind of character. He'd play a similar zany role in the 2015 film American Ultra, but many moviegoers would become frustrated with this kind of character thanks to his take on Lex Luthor in 2016's Batman vs. Superman. Hopefully, Eisenberg's return in Zombieland 2 will make audiences appreciate this kind of character once more. Number 21. Danny McBride. Actor and comedian Danny McBride plays jerks in TV shows and movies, like almost exclusively. McBride is fantastic at bringing to life scummy and self-absorbed individuals. He's also seen a great deal of success in taking on those roles. He played a villain named Don in 2008's Drillbit Taylor. He played a bad guy named Red later that year in Pineapple Express, and was the screw-up younger brother in the 2011 movie Your Highness. Of course, McBride is also very well known for playing jerks on television, with him having been leads in Eastbound and Down and Vice Principals. The HBO series The Righteous Gemstones also uses McBride's affinity for playing jerky and detestable characters to great humorous effect. Number 22. Paul Rudd. The seemingly immortal Paul Rudd is an extremely accomplished actor and comedian. He's been in a terrific number of films and steals the show in many of them. However, he plays a pretty similar character in most of his major roles. More often than not, Rudd plays a kind of comical, if somewhat misguided friend or romantic interest in his performances. This was the case when Rudd played Josh in the 1995 film Clueless, Brian Fantana in 2004's Anchorman, and David in 2005's 40-Year-Old Virgin. His portrayal of Scott Lang, or Ant-Man in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, also permanently links Rudd to this kind of character as well. It's safe to say that Rudd will be both charming and hilarious in whatever movie or show he's in. Number 23. Johnny Knoxville. Johnny Knoxville, whose real name is Philip John Clapp, rose to fame due to his reality show Jackass, which aired on MTV in the early 2000s. Knoxville has been doing pretty much the same shtick ever since, and to great success. In fact, it's arguable that the vast majority of his career is based around his character and attitude from the Jackass television series. He played an exaggerated version of himself in all of the Jackass movies and Irving Zisman's Jackass Presents Dirty Grandpa. Knoxville also played Luke Duke in the 2005 Dukes of Hazzard film. It's undeniable that Johnny Knoxville's name is synonymous with outrageous physical comedy, and he'll forever be tied to a number of outrageous stunts. Number 24. Charlie Day. Charlie Day is a terrific actor and screenwriter who has penned some of the most entertaining shows and movies in the past decade and a half. He almost always plays eccentric characters who have enough personality to fill up an entire show or movie on their own. It makes sense then that Day will become best known for performing these kinds of roles. Day continues to play the erratic Charlie Kelly in the It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia TV show. Additionally, he played the zany Dale Arbus in the Horrible Bosses movies and the nutty Dr. Newton Gleiser in the Pacific Rim films. Number 25. Topher Grace. Topher Grace first rose to stardom thanks to his portrayal of Eric Foreman in the television series That 70s Show. He did a brilliant job of bringing the awkward and nerdy teenager to life. It turns out, though, that Grace may have been playing this role pretty close to home as he played similar parts in other performances. Grace plays similarly awkward young men in the 2004 film Win a Date with Tad Hamilton and the 2011 film Take Me Home Tonight. While he has branched out a bit thanks to films like Interstellar and BlacKkKlansman, he'll always be known as an Eric Foreman type. And with how popular That 70s Show still is today, that really isn't the worst fate in the world either. What do you think of our list of actors who always play the same character? Did we miss anyone? Please let us know in the comments section down below, and be sure to subscribe to TheBinger for loads of upcoming videos while you do. Thanks for watching.